Heads up, Commander players. The Rules Committee just announced another card added to the ban list. Let's take a look and see what's going on with that one. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Top Commander. I'm your host, Matt. So, not too long ago, we just received an announcement for another card being banned in the Commander format. This would be the second banning in less than 2 weeks, I believe, ever since Lutri got banned, the day that it got spoiled. So, what card could they have possibly banned now? No, it's not one from Ikoria Lair of Behemoths. Just a heads up. So, the card that finally got banned is more of a card that was a outcry from the CEDH community, which is the competitive Commander players, because of a combo that is referred to as Flash Hulk. Now, the combo runs the cards Flash and Protean Hulk. For those of you who don't remember or weren't playing at the time, a few years ago, Protean Hulk was banned in Commander. And then they decided to unban it. Now, combining these two cards ended up in some very high-end, top-tier combo decks. In my opinion, Protean Hulk wasn't the real problem. The real culprit is the Flash card, so this is actually really good banning. So, for those of you who are not familiar with the card Flash itself, let's go ahead and take a look at that. It is 1 and a blue for an instant that says you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you do, sacrifice it unless you pay its mana cost reduced by up to 2. 2 generic. Now, this sounds like a cheat something into play kind of a card, and probably some people are not too familiar with how this combo works. So, Flash was originally designed to just give instant speed to creatures before they created the keyword Flash. So, back then, this card was fine. There was, occasionally there was some stuff that you could do, because when you think about what the card does, it's 2 mana, you can get a one-time shot out of something for an ETB trigger, or if it's being sacrificed, you can get the death trigger. Now, considering the fact that Magic's been around for over 25 years now, there's over 20,000 cards in the history of Magic now. More than likely, there's going to be something in the mix that is a very, very bad combination with Flash. So, the biggest culprit with combinations with Flash was Protean Hulk. Protean Hulk is a 6/6 beast creature for 5 generic and 2 green. When Protean Hulk is put into a graveyard from play, search your library for any number of creature cards with total converted mana cost 6 or less. Put them into play. Then shuffle your library. Now, why was Flash Hulk such a big deal? In CEDH communities especially, Flash Hulk is just that powerful. It's the boogeyman of their format, which their format is our format, but they play on a different level, obviously. They play more powerful, more high-end cards, more control-y decks, more combo-based decks, and Protean Hulk and Flash make a 2-card combo to search out of your library your win condition, essentially. I'm not familiar with the cards that they would actually go and search out, but there was a lot of talk about, like, there was a combination with it would get, like, the new Thassa's Oracle Merfolk from Theros Beyond Death, and there was a combination with the Protean Hulk to get Thassa's Oracle, and you win the game with the ETB trigger. I haven't really seen it much in casual Commander tables. I've seen Protean Hulk. I don't usually see Flash that much personally, but in their community, it's a mainstay. If they can run blue and green, they ran Flash Hulk. That's how it goes, apparently. But now they don't have to worry about it, and it's more of an outcry for their format, like I said. But what does this mean for Commander? Is this a big change in Commander? At casual tables, no, not really. At competitive tables, yes, that's one of the big combos from their format that is now gone. So the rules committee, when they announced this banning, they also announced, they released an article with this explaining that the way that they do the bannings, the cards on the ban list are more of a guideline on things that you shouldn't use to be able to make Commander more fun. Now, granted, fun is defined by so many different ways because everybody has their own definition of fun. And what's fun to one person may not be fun to another person. Let's go ahead and face that fact right now. Infinite combos could be fun to somebody, but not to somebody else. You know, there are play groups where they don't like counterspells. There's play groups that absolutely despise Cyclonic Rift. There's play groups that don't like tutors or fetch lands or anything like that. It comes down to, like, what do you want to have, how do you want to have fun in this game? Because Magic in the end is a game. Yes, they have competitive players, they have tournaments for different formats and things where prizes are on the line, and that's okay. Your goal is to win. Commander was designed to be a casual format. So, is it really that big of a deal if you win or lose? If you think about the concept of casual format, yes, the object of the game is to win, but a lot of the times you see a lot of people, and this causes discrepancies among casual players. CEDH players don't have this discrepancy because they play to they play to win, they have fun, but they play with the most powerful cards for a reason. They're legal, and that's the way they play. Now, the Rules Committee's ban list is basically saying, hey, we don't want you to, if you don't use cards like this, basically the ban list is more of an outline of these are cards that you should probably try to stay away from, and games will be a lot more fun. Which, I applaud that. That's totally fair. If you're just using the ban list as an outline, that is one way of doing it. I totally get it. But at the same time, a lot of what it boils down to, especially in casual tables, is more of just talk with your play group, talk with the people that you're playing with, and make sure that everybody's on the same page. Because that is the biggest thing that causes so many feel-bads in this game. People that want Cyclonic Rift banned, at this rate, I don't think the Rules Committee is looking at Cyclonic Rift to get banned. It's an instant speed, one-sided board wipe. But it still, for the price that it is, it's powerful, yes, but it can still be countered. You can target it with Narset's Reversal, which is rather amusing and hilarious, because that forces people to rethink, should I play it immediately when I have 7 mana? You might have the board state that could back it up, but you might want to have that extra mana at hand just to be able to counter it. Or counter something that's going to stop that Cyclonic Rift. Especially if your opponent knows you're going to play a Cyclonic Rift and they hold a Narset's Reversal, and that's just going to blow you out of the water, and that's just It's one of those scenarios where it will cause some feel bads because then somebody's like, oh, well, I don't like that card. It's a game. That's the biggest thing to remember. That's probably the number one thing that I can send a message out to everybody is it's a game. Have fun with it. If you're caught up in whether or not you're going to win or lose, it's not going to be fun for you. Because if your whole goal is, I'm only going to have fun when I win, you're not going to have fun. Commander is designed to be played with 4 players. 4 people. You being one of them, you have 3 opponents. Basic math says that you have a 25% chance of winning that game. You're not going to win every single game. If you are, then you're probably in a play group where they're trying to have more fun, you're aiming to win. When they're winning all the time, nobody else is winning, then the play group's not going to want to play with you. Granted, sounds contradictory, but if that's the only thing you care about, then you need to play more on the competitive level. You need to play more in tournaments and stuff like that. Remember, casual format. When you're playing with your friends at the kitchen table or whatever, playing out in the garage, or just hanging out playing at your LGS. If there's not a tournament, if there's no prizes on the line, don't let the feel bad happen that, oh, well, they won because blah, 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 blah. No, they won the game fair and square. Just leave it be. Maybe you get mana screwed, maybe you get mana flooded. Maybe they drew a better hand than you. Who knows? Maybe they pilot their deck a lot better than you pilot yours. There's a lot of things to remember when it comes to what cards are on the ban list are as a guideline for cards not to play to keep the game more fun. You don't necessarily have to go about that route. There are play groups out there that have their own personal ban list. There are play groups out there that play without the ban list. Let's face it. I'm pretty sure everybody's had that thought process at one point where it's like, I wonder what would happen if we just don't have a ban list. You get some crazy games in those scenarios, and they're actually super fun to watch. A lot of this is very to each is their own, but when it comes to the broad scheme of things, you just gotta remember that it is a game. If you are not going to have fun unless you win, the rest of the playgroup's not going to respond very well to that sort of attitude. That mentality, that mindset, just look at it as, hey, we're going to sit down and play a game. Cool. It's not about winning or losing. It's about having fun. That's the whole purpose of this. It's a game. It's a hobby. It's not necessarily a lifestyle unless you're a pro tournament player that is on the pro tour and winning the world championship and stuff like that. Unless that is your life, it's just a game. And even for most of the pro players, it's still just a game. Even though, yes, that's their livelihood. If they bomb out at a tournament and don't win, then that can affect them. But in the end, I feel like even pro players tend to have more fun than most casual players. The CEDH community as a whole generally doesn't have a whole bunch of feel-bads because somebody did this or somebody did that. And it's because they play with the cards that are not on the ban list. That is their understanding. If it's not on the ban list, it's fair game. There's not really a problem with that. I mean, they're not always... Just because they're competitive players doesn't mean they're necessarily tryhards. That's the way they enjoy the game. That's how they have fun. You can't necessarily judge them on that. Just like they typically don't judge casual players for playing with these janky, weak cards and stuff like that. They don't do that. Typically, you might have your random CEDH player that just likes to go into a place and pub stop on a bunch of newbie casual players with weak pre-con decks or whatever. But just because there are a handful of people like that doesn't mean that the majority of the CEDH community is like that. And you also got to remember that the CEDH community as a whole is a lot smaller than the casual Commander players. The casual Commander player, we make the majority of this format. As far as the flash banning goes, I believe that was more of the majority of that small portion of Commander players that are competitive players were wanting flash ban, because I've heard about Flash Hulk being a combo that, like, under the right circumstances you have to pull a God Hand and everything for this, but I've heard about it being like a turn 0 win. Doesn't happen often, because of the amount of variance you would have in Commander. But if it ever happened to you, you're just like, wow, I kept this hand for what? And the only way to stop it at that point is to aggressively mulligan until you have a counterspell that you can cast for free, which in their format would be Force of Will. One card. Come on, really think about that one. Under those circumstances, I do believe that flash being banned was a good thing. A lot of the CEDH community is, I'm sure, very happy about the rule committee's decision on banning it. That's pretty much all I have to say about that for right now. I guess, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So let me know down in the comments below, what do you guys think? Was Flash really a problem card? Should it have been banned? Do you disagree with the rules committee about that decision to ban Flash? Let's talk it out and see what's going on with that. But until then, we'll see you guys on the next video. If you like this video or any other videos that I upload, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Click the notification bell so you find out when I post a new video. Be sure to share this video with any of your friends, family, anybody that you know that would enjoy content like this. And if you wish to support the channel directly, be sure to visit patreon.com/topcommander, and that will be on the screen right here. And until then, take it easy.